What's up, everyone? My name is Ethan. This is Courtside TV. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. So today, I wanted to talk about the fan behavior in the NBA playoffs, because this has become a topic over the last week with, a lot of fans being back into the arenas with the intensity of playoff basketball, and there have been multiple instances of fans being disrespectful to the players, saying incredibly horrible things to some of the players and their families and things like that. So I kind of wanted to talk about this problem that the NBA is having and what can be done to maybe fix it and kind of just, discuss this whole issue. Just so you guys know, this is being pre-recorded. I don't think there's going to be anything that happens that will change the contents of this video, but I'm going to be out of town this weekend, so I'm recording this on Friday evening. This is going to go up either Sunday or Monday. I haven't decided yet. So, yeah, that's the deal, and let's get into it. So I'm sure you guys all have seen this over the past week. I mean, it was 3 instances in one night. There was 3 playoff games played, and all 3 of them had something happen that ended up becoming a story. The first one being, in Philadelphia, where a fan drops a bucket of popcorn on Russell Westbrook's head as he's walking out of the floor, walking into the locker room after sustaining an injury, and he just gets a bucket of popcorn dropped on his head, and it ends up becoming a huge scene where he, tries to go up and have some words with the fan, and security has to hold him back, and he's rightfully upset, right? So that's the first one in Philadelphia. Then we have a video of a Knicks fan spitting on Trae Young while he's, I think, inbounding a ball, and the fan just spits on him, because we know Trae has sort of been a villain for the New York crowd and has been kind of egging them on, and it's been a great playoff atmosphere, right? But that guy obviously took it quite farther than you should as a fan. And then in Utah, we had Ja Morant's family having some horrible things said to them, saying in an article and stuff that people were writing on ESPN. You can go look at it, but there were some really racist and sexist things said to Ja Morant's parents, who, of course, Ja Morant plays for the Grizzlies, and the fans are not a fan of the Grizzlies in Utah, and so saying some horrible things to the people that they knew were Ja Morant's family. So those were 3 instances, all in the same night of basketball. Coincidentally, the first live playoff basketball with fans that we've had in 2 seasons. It's not a coincidence that all of these things are happening right at the same time, right when fans are back and with this intensity, just because we haven't seen it for a while, because there hasn't really been fans in playoff games for 2 seasons. So, this has been a thing for many, many years, and we're seeing it crop up again this season, but this is not a new thing in the NBA or in any sports in general, for that matter. So I kind of wanted to speak on this from my perspective, right? Because if you guys don't know, I'm a fan of the Golden State Warriors, and I do not live in San Francisco or California or anywhere close to that. I live in Utah. So I'm surrounded by a lot of Jazz fans, and I've been to plenty of Jazz games. Typically when they play Golden State, I go every single year, except for this past season because, pandemic reasons. But pretty much every single season I go and see the Warriors when they come here to Salt Lake. I'll go to some other games occasionally just to watch basketball, the Jazz play. Whoever's coming to town, if I have time, I'll go and get a ticket and go to a game. So I've been to a lot of home Jazz games over the years. And this is something that is a big topic within a lot of Jazz communities, because I have lots of close friends who are Jazz fans. People in my family are Jazz fans. Plenty of people I know in my life are huge fans of the Jazz, and there have been a lot of instances where there have been fans saying racist things to players that I have heard while I'm at the arena, while my friends have heard while they've been at the arena, telling me about it later, things that, fans close to them have said. There's been instances in the past where fans have been banned. There was an incident with Russell Westbrook a couple of years ago, when he was with the Thunder playing here in Utah, I think during the playoffs. So there have been lots of instances of Utah fans being disrespectful and saying racist things to players, and players have come out and said that playing in Salt Lake City is one of the worst places to play in terms of hearing racist things said to them all the time. So that is certainly not ideal to be living in a place where that is something that happens consistently. And we hear the stories about Boston, where a lot of players have talked about the experiences they've had in Boston playing the Celtics over the years. Philadelphia has that reputation. The New York Knicks sometimes do as well. Atlanta, I've heard a lot of people say. So there's cities, it's not just an isolated thing. It's not just happening in one NBA arena. This is every single place all over the country. And we've seen this all come to light this past week, and it's just very, very disheartening to see this happening over and over again. So now we ask, what can be done about this, right? What can you do about stupid fans who are, disrespecting authority and just going into games and saying whatever they want, and a lot of times they don't even face consequences for it. Well, first of all, you would hope that all these fans are banned for life from the games, and we've seen that happen, for a lot of these fans over the past week or so that have done these things. We've seen teams come out with statements and players come out with statements saying that these fans have been banned for life from the arena. And that's obviously a very good first step, right? I would prefer that all these fans be banned from ever entering another NBA game ever, just because you cross the line, you lose your privilege. That's just how it goes. And some of these statements have been said, they say banned indefinitely rather than banned permanently, which leaves the door open to maybe it getting reversed in a couple of years and it gets swept under the rug or whatever. And also, side note, I don't even know how they enforce this. Like, does every security member at the arena know the faces of the guys who aren't allowed to enter? Like, I'm not sure how you would really enforce that. If you're saying that this guy with this name cannot buy a ticket and you get blocked from buying a ticket, what's stopping them from using a fake name to get in, or wearing sunglasses? I don't know how that would even be possible to make sure that these guys can't ever come back to games. But hopefully they find a way to properly enforce this and make sure that these people who are doing this are not allowed into any NBA arena, not just the arena where it takes place, but any NBA arena ever in the rest of history. And obviously these fans, are not representations of all fans of a specific team or all NBA fans in general. We know how it is. And this was in the article about the things that happened at the Jazz Arena, but there were other Jazz fans who overheard the things that these specific people were saying and, called security on them and were able to help get them out of the arena. So of course that's good. And I've seen some Twitter accounts, I've seen a specific Twitter account called Jazz Fans Against Racism, which I think is awesome. And they've been, advocating for, making Vivint Arena and just in general the Jazz community a safer place for everybody and weeding out those sorts of things, which I think is a good start. But I mean, this is just obviously it's symptomatic of a larger problem across the country and just in society as a whole, around the world, of just, we've seen racism and sexism and all of this stuff. It's been a problem for forever. And I'm glad that, over the past year or so, I think, NBA fans and just the United States as a whole has made some progress in sort of trying to strike down those things and moving forward, which is good. But obviously there's still a lot more things that we can do as fans. So I think it's important for fans of every team, but I think every team in general, but I think specifically the ones with this reputation of having unruly fans, to really step up and make sure that the arena is a safe place for all fans and players and families to be, and that we're really working as hard as we can to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen anymore, because it's gone on for far too long. There have been too many instances of this in the past couple of years, and it's not a coincidence that we're hearing all this stuff happening as soon as playoff basketball is back in arenas with a lot more fans in attendance. So it's frustrating, and I think that teams are doing a good job of helping to stop this issue. But I think there is more that we can still do. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, this has kind of been on my mind this week. So yeah, I think that's about all I have on fans being dumb and ruining the experience for pretty much everyone. So yeah, like I said at the top of the video, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, ring the bell if you want to. Leave a comment letting me know what you guys think about this. What do you think about the fans issue? And what would you like to see, teams do about this? Because I'm sure that there's other solutions that I haven't thought of rather than just banning people for life. But I don't know. Would love to hear your thoughts on this and what teams could potentially do to help fix this issue. But yeah, with all that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.